The Army Air Corps had a program called the Air Cadet Program. And what it was meant for was you could become a pilot. And I said, oh, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. But unfortunately, I failed depth perception. So I was assigned to a B-24 bomber as a top turret gunner. In a bomb group were 28 aircraft made up of 4 squadrons of 7 planes each. So that meant 280 men would be on a particular flight or a bombing mission. Now, when we formed our crew, every one of us was either 18 or 19 years old. So the oldest guy on the crew was the pilot. We used to call him Dad. He was 22 years old, so it seemed like a very young war. Well, it's kind of an experience to be with a crew in an aircraft. Now, to make a mission into Germany would be probably an 8.5 hour, maybe could be as much as 10-hour mission, depending on exactly where you were going. On a mission, the pilot would check in with all the crew about every 5-6 minutes to make sure that they're able and that they're getting enough oxygen and they're warm enough and so on and so forth. So he would check through the plane. You would say, top okay, and then go right around every position. And my particular air cover at that time was the Tuskegee Airmen. I could possibly owe my life to B-51 pilots in the Tuskegee Airmen. A crew gets very together. You're almost like brothers because you live together 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The average life of a crew in those days, your tour of duty in 1942 and 43 was 25 missions. If you could finish 25 missions, you could go home. But the average life of a crew in those days was 8 to 12 missions. So if someone asked, how long do you think it's gonna take me to finish my tour of duty, you would almost tell them, kid, you ain't gonna make it, unless you're awful lucky. So that's how bad, dire things were. God was part of me during the Second World War. I've always said there cannot be any such thing as an atheist when there's somebody with intent to kill shooting at him. And I think maybe we don't think about God, somebody bigger than ourselves, somebody that can bring us together. You always knew that he was there by your side. I always ask him, when I talk to him every day, I say, why are you keeping me around? Say, I'm 97 years old. I got achy knees. I got all kinds of aches and pains. I have hearing problems. And I figure one of the reasons is the time I spend at the museum. The reason I'm a volunteer at the museum is to keep the memories alive of those from the Second World War. And I'm glad to see it carrying on through memory.